All right. What's happening, everybody? I have drug Yoakum out of
Hello,
retirement.
guys.
Great to be here. Um, no intro today. I'm just going to get right into it because expecting Chris too from Old World Explorations, and we're just going to hang out and show some melt and whatever else you want to show. So, tell everybody how everything's been, man. So for like 4 months, you've been out of the making videos and stuff. So how you doing?
Yeah, it's been a while. So, I've been very busy with trying to enjoy life the best we can here in this hellscape of a society we live in. I got the family, the kids, work here and there and stuff. And, we just try to have fun. And then time just flies on. And then we had to move a couple of months ago. And that's a whole ass stressful little thing. But we're set up here now, and I do want to start making videos again. It's just difficult to get back to it once you've been like away for a while and stuff. You know how it is, and then something shows up, and you know but I've been good, feeling healthy and stuff like that, which is what's important. There's no problems really. It's just busy life stuff. And I've seen people still watching my shit, commenting and stuff like that. So all the stuff I made in the past, it's still there, going around, being passed around and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
so that's good.
Yeah,
Good to
life,
see you
right?
guys again and hang out, and see I'm still alive and you're still alive. So that's
Hey, I know everybody's excited to see you.
still above ground, and that's what matters.
See. So, Karen, greetings, everybody. Appreciate everybody being here. Yep, he's back. He's back.
And I got a fun T-shirt that I like to wear. So it says
That one say.
photo, hold on, or painting.
That's
Yeah,
a
it's
good
kind of
one.
fun. Yeah. I got it from Amazon, like $20 or so. It's 100% cotton, so the quality is nice and stuff. I don't like these synthetic blends and shit they make today. So we try to wear just cotton and stuff because it's like natural, not plastic and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've got a few shirts. They're like 60% cotton, and what's the other? It's synthetic, but it's so light and airy. I
Yeah,
can't remember
they're comfortable, and especially when it's like super hot and
Mm-hmm.
like humid and shit like that. That's they use this for like soccer and stuff like that too. If it's sweaty as shit.
Right. I mean, it's we've had like what, I don't know, 3 months. It's been hot,
Yeah.
sweating. It wasn't like that last summer. Seems like every summer's different here.
Yeah.
This is your second one, right? Over here,
Yeah.
basically.
I don't know what they're doing with the weather. Sometimes it's all blue skies, no chemtrails or anything, and it feels cold. And then some days it's chemtrail and everything, and then it's like 20 degrees warmer and stuff. Like I don't even know how it works. And
Right.
is there a thermostat for the sun simulator, and they just crank it up and down sometimes and shit? I don't know what's going on sometimes with this weather.
I
It's
don't
been
know.
crazy.
Yeah,
So
they were spraying like hell today.
oh shit.
Off and on. They took yesterday off. They take a lot of Sundays off for some
Yeah.
reason. It seems like.
Ah,
But
it's good.
hey, what's up, Melanie? How's it going?
Hi guys.
Oh, Valdez, what's
Hey
happening, man?
Valdas.
Yeah, hadn't seen
Cool,
him
cool.
in a while. He's got some killer stuff. He every now and then he puts out with his 8-string guitar. It's pretty killer. Love him. I love when he does that. Uh, yeah, so I'm just going to be really showing a couple of new videos I saw, boots on the ground, and a couple other things. Um,
Okay.
no sound. I have no sound. Hmm. Can everybody hear us? Might be just Daniel.
Well, I can hear you, so that's
Yeah,
a good sign.
it was just me. Okay. All right, good. Okay.
Hey, that's cool. They changed so you can log into your YouTube and comment as your YouTube here and not comment as you or whatever as guests on your show and stuff. That's pretty cool. I think that's new.
Wait, you can do what now? Comment.
I can comment as my YouTube channel on here.
Oh, okay.
In the past, if I typed, I think they showed up as you typing it or whatever, some weird stuff
Yeah,
like that. So
it's
there's some changes here. That's cool.
yeah, it did that. It's like when you're a member or whatever of the StreamYard, it would do it under like whoever's it is for some reason. I don't know. So they have changed it.
Yeah, there is a few like
It was
upgrades.
really dumb. Like I don't know why they would set it up like that.
I don't know. Yeah, but it's a pretty new app. It's just a couple of years old or something. So, Chris,
Yeah.
Hey,
man,
What's happening?
I apologize. I can't get my video going. That's my virtual background, but I must have vaporized into thin air or something.
oh shit,
Weird.
Yeah, you're a little light on the voice too.
Oh, interesting.
It can hear you though.
Okay. How's that better?
oh that's way better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's way better. Yeah.
Okay. Well, are you going to introduce us, Mark, or?
Yeah. Yeah, I was just saying, I drug Joachim out of retirement for the last, I don't know, 4 months or whatever. And, but I really appreciate you, Chris, being here too. Try to get you guys together. Chris from Old World Exploration, of course. We've done a couple of things together. Love his stuff. Please sub his channel. And of course, Joachim too. But just very, just great guys trying to present the truth. And,
Thanks, Mark. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I share my story about how I got into meltology?
Yes.
It's all joke. I'm 100%. I didn't know who you were, Mark, till like 6 months later. I started seeing the melt, like seeing it without knowing there was channels out there that existed. And then I sort of, I must have bumped into your stuff, Joachim. And so I started watching it, and my kids would be sitting next to me watching it, and it's like, what you were saying was so obvious. It's one of those things. It's like, but to suggest it would mean you're crazy in the eyes of most people around you, right? It's such a weird state of being. It's like a really for me, it was like a really like in shock state. The state I was in was shock for about 2-3 months straight, just looking at this stuff.
Yeah, it is crazy, and it's also crazy how obvious it is to some people. Because I have similar stories like you. I didn't know beforehand, but I just was messing around on YouTube, and then I clicked on a video that was Jerry from When the Buildings Cried, and I just clicked like, what the hell is this guy saying? And it took like 3 minutes of watching his crazy ass speaking like he do and stuff, and I'm just like, oh yeah, this is correct. So for me it was easy, but then other people, they can watch like for months and months and just still keep shit talking you and stuff. I don't know how it works sometimes, but
I'd hate to be in that state, to be in that state of being where you just won't accept what your eyes are showing you. I mean, I guess that's a lot of people in our society, but this stuff's so damn obvious. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't understand how some don't see it. I mean, it's fine. I just, however long ago it was, I was pissed off not knowing, and really so many different on YouTube or whatever saying whatever trees titans, and then in my case I was watching this tree guy, and he mentioned Jerry and made fun of him for like 5 seconds maybe, and then that's when I turned everything off, got pissed, and started doing boots on the ground, and and I still was like, okay, it's not this, and then it just clicked. I really had to watch a YouTube channel for a while. amazing places on our planet, actually.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
it clicked after about 5 episodes of that. I think he had 200 videos back then. I've watched them like 3 times each, and then that's when I started going out and like, wow, like this is. I mean, every place I
Mind
went,
blown.
and man, it was kind of rough too. That first year, just because your head's just going everywhere. And
All
and then
over the
you're trying
place and nobody to talk to, and that's why we start these channels and stuff.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Trying to talk to people about it. It was really hard, but it's not anymore. So
Yeah.
it's all good.
Yeah. And it's a pleasure to meet you, by the way, Joachim.
You too, Chris.
Yeah, thanks for red pilling the shit out of me.
You're welcome. Of course. Yeah, I like to hear that, when people are like, oh yeah, shit, thanks and stuff, because I help people see, and
Absolutely.
it's a good feeling to be able to assist. And I don't know what the future for humanity will be like, but the more people who know what's going on, the better, obviously, because we gotta stop this divide and conquer. The UK and everything is crazy over there right now with children being stabbed and everything and all this crazy shit, but we all have the common same enemies and shit, but people don't realize that, and then we keep fighting each other while they watch from a distance and laugh at us and stuff. So we gotta unite and get rid of the root of the issue here, and that is what the truth will do, because that's when they will realize, oh shit, there's bigger powers behind all this madness we live in.
Yes. Yeah. Well
I
said there.
like to say the beast is flailing. We're living in a time where the beast is flailing. I think the beast doesn't have long, but it'll take as many within arm's reach as possible if we let them. It's kind of so. We're trying to get them in our nets to safety, away from that whole state of being. Yeah.
Yeah, and seeing this too with any truth, like with what you do, Chris, and everybody else, it at least it makes you think, and then you can start going away from all the mainstream media stuff and all that. And it's funny, like over the years, I cut everything off, and then people were like, well, I don't have time to research and stuff. Well, if you don't watch any TV and really go to any kind of events or anything, sometimes I'm walking around like, what do I do?
Yeah.
It's weird sometimes. Like I actually get bored, and I can't do this all the time. I mean, I have to lay it down sometimes, and but yeah, I mean, I think all these channels are great, and it just makes people think. So
you have to keep a foot in both worlds. It feels like, it's like the Matrix is failing, but you still got to have sort of a toe to function in somewhat of a way. But you have to resist it at every chance you get too, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of the Matrix, this is random. I went to the grocery store the other day, and I went on a Sunday like a few weeks ago. So long story short, I'm pulling up. I see the same woman doing the same thing in the same dress. And then when I pull up, and last time she was leaving, this time she's coming in. Then I go inside. I see these other 2 people with the same thing on, just because they looked a little different or something. So long story short, I saw 4 people wearing the same thing, and basically doing the same movements and everything. I had to leave.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta go make sure my house is still there.
Shit, man. That's some NPC. Yeah, that's weird as fuck. I think there are NPCs out there amongst us, like not real, actual humans and shit that's put in here. Whatever they are, soulless or animatronics or whatever they are, I don't think they're real. They're just put in there to look. So it looks like something is going on all the time, but maybe it isn't,
Yeah. I wonder too if you're still like heavily taking in doses of mainstream media and in that world. I wonder how much better the programming is than it was, even 5 years ago with all the AI and everything. They can really get under people's skin, if you're still plugged in.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Yeah, I don't want to get political because people have so split opinions about it, but Kamala Harris are being caught for photoshopping crowds into her photos and stuff like that, or AI generated or whatever, But for me, politics is just a show, whatever. But if you vote, I hope you know who to vote for out of these two candidates.
Yeah, and I think it goes beyond politics at this point, right?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
I'm convinced AI wrote our history. I mean, I
Mhm.
really am. That like all these narratives, and you're an expert at it, Chris. Man, they're the same thing, and they use the same names, and they twist them around, and
Yeah.
it's so sloppy. Um,
Yeah.
I was thinking about that maybe a year or so ago. I'm like, man, this AI thing's been out for a long time,
Yeah.
and
It's
they
just
didn't.
recently they gave it to the access to the masses and public and stuff, probably.
Yeah. As
Yeah.
usual.
Yeah.
Well, you want to get into something, Joachim, or I can do something?
Yeah. Okay, I can show. I just have those 20 photos or so, but just grab them real quick and let's see if I can find them. So let's see. Shit, how to do this again? I know how. Don't worry.
Yeah, I did.
Share
Yeah,
screen.
yeah, I think you can do it on your own, actually.
Yeah. So what I want to do is this. I'm pretty sure. So you can see this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Well, it's
so
not
what?
in yet.
Oh, it's not in.
No. Can you hit ads? There you go. Yeah.
It's on the okay, yeah, it's on the thing here. Okay, so this is not about melt, but kind of also, I guess. So me and my wife, we went to Indiana Dunes State Park, and we stayed there for one night. We just slept in the minivan because we're just two people and one dog, every other week or whatever, and it's fun van camping. So we went here and we saw Chicago skyline, which was a very famous photo back in the days, like 2018 or so, when flat Earth came into place, and we went there and to see it for ourselves. So from this beach into Chicago, it is 72 miles apparently, according to maps provided by Google. And then if you take 72 miles on Earth curvature calculator, it's supposed to be 3,456.99 feet of curvature. That's on an Earth with a circumference of 901 miles around the equator, which is also numbers provided by Google.
You must have not watched the news when the weather came on a few years ago, and they showed that, and he said it was a mirage.
Yeah, right. That's the only explanation, because they even admit this is impossible to see on a globe, which is a photo that I forgot to say, by the way. But they say it's possible because the cold air from the lake bends the light around the curve of the Earth into the eyes of the observer. So this is the Willis Tower, which is the tallest tower in the Chicago city, which is 1,451 feet tall. So if you go back here and you can see the Willis Tower here, 1,451 feet tall, behind 3,456 feet of curvature. How is that possible?
So they say we can see that because the light is bending with the curve and not distorting it.
Yeah, it kind of bends like around because the cold water draws the light rays like around over the curve and shit and into your eyes and stuff. It's nonsense, but people started questioning this stuff, so they had to like, oh shit, we gotta come up with something, because this been here forever, People has always been able to see this, but people probably didn't think about measuring this and like how far. They just thought, oh, it's just right over there or something. But then they're like, hey, this is way too far away and stuff like that.
Nobody questioned it. It was deep matrix programming, right? Nobody
Yeah.
questioned it.
Yeah, we're that close to Chicago. Well, it's 72 miles over here, so there is no curve on the y-axis or x-axis, which, this building should be like tilting backwards and stuff. and it should also be, sideways and stuff, but it's
Yeah.
not. So this is just proof, and it was cool to see it with your own eyes and stuff. So we just went over there to do that. And here there's some photo. I grabbed some from Facebook. I grabbed some from Yandex, and it's just different things, different melt and stuff. And here's one that I found from Facebook, with all these openings into the what they call mountains, cliffs and stuff.
You don't think that's a crocodile's head and that's the teeth? Sorry, I had
to. Well, back in the days, I would have probably. So here is cool because just see how messed up this whole thing is, and the bricks turning into all these rocks. But all this water comes from somewhere, just keep leaking and stuff from these buildings, which I obviously think are the plumbing still somehow pumping water through these structures, and the water just comes out from somewhere. And this is good ass water. I mean, you can drink this. It's safe. It's all very pure and clean and stuff. So we have those all over the place in massive amounts. Some of the big waterfalls like Niagara Falls and stuff. Where the hell does all this water come from?
Yeah, we have a couple. We have a couple up here in northern British Columbia and Canada, just sticking out of the mountain. Every 100 kilometers or so, you'll see one, and people fill up all their water jugs and stuff there.
Oh yeah.
Just, people have put a pipe and like driven it into the mountain, and it's a little fresh natural water.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good water, and it's not. It don't have these old ass pipes and under the cities and stuff like that. All this rusty, full of chemicals they add into it and stuff. So it's the best water you can get. And then if you buy water in plastic bottles, then you have the microplastic leaching into the thing, and damn, we can't even drink water anymore. Just huge ruins here. Like you just walk in a forest and then this appears. It's kind of crazy. There's some stuff over here, brick structures, lots of trees. So this is just left here. Nobody probably knows about it. Nobody cares about it. It's just there. Nobody asks any questions like what is this? Who built this? Because there's pretty big structures just buried there, and in another 1,000 years, will it even be there anymore? The earth will consume these things.
Yeah.
When you're indoctrinated, you just walk past stuff, say, "Oh, it's old," and you just
think twice about it.
What I used to do. So
you'll just think, "Oh, this is some medieval, whatever." Oh, okay, cool.
And they'll have a plaque that tells you that too.
Of course.
Oh yeah, always. So I grabbed this photo, and there's more water coming here. Huge swelling going on in this area here, balloon rocking, swelling up, and it goes in under here. And it's also just really old looking, kind of. And obviously it's brick that's been transformed into different shapes and sizes, which happens during cataclysmic events like this, and is also difficult to replicate on a smaller scale, unfortunately. But maybe we can one day, who knows? We just need a shit ton of electricity or something.
Okay. We'll definitely need some bricks too.
Yeah, and some bricks. So here another one I saw, and I just see all this water just coming from somewhere under here, whatever this wall archway is. And this keeps going, every day of the year pretty much. Even if it don't rain for weeks, it just keeps coming a lot of water out of some of these places. So where is the water coming from is the question people have to ask, because they always say, well, it's leftover rainwater that's accumulating and then has to go somewhere, and then melting snow and all that stuff. But if it's not, then sometimes there's tall straight cliff sides with a waterfall or whatever, and there's no lakes or anything nearby, and it just keeps pumping water out. So where does this water come from? Another one. Old structure, very old. remains, I think, from the past humanity, and this one is also just here. So this is probably on some hiking trail in the forest, and you walk over here. Is that a plaque here? Wait.
Might be, yeah, you might be right.
Just in case you wonder what this is, of course they have an explanation.
They went cheap and put a wood plaque there.
Yeah. Yeah, so these things are just all over the place, and back in Norway as well, when I went hiking there in the woods and stuff, you just see these short walls with balloon rocks and stuff, like pretty much anywhere you can go and stuff. And they say the official narrative for these things are like, oh, yeah, it was farmers back in the day, so they had farms in the middle of nowhere into the forest with sheep. So they stacked all these fucking rocks for miles and miles around to keep sheep inside, and then you can just walk over them like no problem whatsoever and stuff. So I found that fascinating once I learned about meltology, about these rocks in a long line in the forest and stuff. Like what is it? And I don't think someone carried them on their shoulder and just built like that in the middle of nowhere.
I wouldn't want to, that's for sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to either. So I saw this one. Very interesting little thing. So it's a brick thing here, some bricks over there, and water, and it falls down here, and then it looks like someone attempted to find a way to collect it and lead it somewhere for their benefit. And then of course you have these structures that just all over the place with the bricks, obviously very damaged and transformed, some into rocks. Here you got them into blocks. And yeah, look at this mess. Obviously nobody built like this, and I don't think just rain and wind did this to the buildings.
Not
That's what they
possible.
say.
It's not possible to change the state of matter. Just
A little bit of water and wind. So here, the bricks, some of them are just disintegrated. They're just like gone. Like how the hell does this happen? Is this wind too doing this and just selecting which bricks to, like, okay, I'm gonna fuck this brick up, but this one can be fine. That's fine. That's the selective nature of erosion, I suppose. So yeah, some of them are just gone. Look, it's just hollow in here now.
Yeah, you see, like in the family, in your personal family or something, that there's a brick building and it's 100 years old or something, and you know that it was built by the family or whatever, and the brick hasn't changed at all.
Yeah.
And then you have these 150-year-old buildings, they say, or whatever, and say they look like this. Like, okay, so what happened here? Those 50 years just all of a sudden did that?
Right.
It's going to look fine in 100, but in 150, it looks like this. It's just total BS.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, and it just looks like scorched, and it's also cracked through here and stuff. That requires a lot of force of some kind to just crack a thick ass. This is like 7 layers thick walls of brick and mortar. How do you just crack that? And
it's the mixed mediums that's a big giveaway, right? When you start to see like rocks and bricks and boulders, there's no logic. You have to do mental gymnastics to make that fit.
Yeah, the only thing people say to like convince us that that's what's going on, they say it's modern repairs, so it can keep staying up for tourism and shit. So that's why there's bricks all over randomly in there. Like, oh, we gotta slap some bricks up there so it don't collapse and shit. That's what people say. Stupid shit like that.
That's pretty weak. Weak sauce, we call that here. Weak sauce.
Yeah. This one is pretty cool. Just this wall.
Arch to nowhere, right? Arches to nowhere and
arches to nowhere. Pretty big too, and it's like fused into the rest of this structure here, which we call mountains now. And like who built this and why? Like, was it so super important to go from nowhere to nowhere that you needed a bridge thing right there?
Logic, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we really have to go over there every day, so we gotta build this shit.
It'll take us 3 generations to get it done, but we'll get her.
Right. You won't see it finish. You'll be dead. So
Yeah, yeah.
what's next?
And here is another one of these. They call them aqueducts and stuff. I don't know the original purpose, but it's massive. It's enormous. It's sometimes just in the middle of nowhere. A lot a lot of bricks had to be used to build this, and like why and who? I mean, are these like we're told they're like stupid back in the day and stuff, but they can build these massive things like that. Don't make sense. There's a car over here in the distance. And yeah, it kind of looks buried. It just goes into the earth here.
Yeah.
You know.
In the middle of nowhere with, back then they tell us that horse and wagon, of course, and all that. It's just,
Yeah.
where do they get all the blocks and bricks and everything? And they're just going to come out in the middle of nowhere and do something like that.
They pull them out of their ass.
Yeah.
A whole factory up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the top of the mountain.
That's the real gay agenda. No.
Shit.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. I like jokes. I like to laugh. They say a good laugh will lengthen your life or something. It's
I
healthy
believe that.
for you. It's good for you. And it's difficult to laugh in this hellhole. So
Yeah.
here you see 3 of these things. And they've been like melt flooded here, it looks like to me. All this melt and rubble and ashes just coming down, burying these kind of things up the hill. So who knows what it looked like before the cataclysm? Must have been a pretty incredible sight.
A Tower of Babel type thing.
Yeah. This one is weird. I don't know why it's still standing. But
Isn't that a petrified hedgehog?
oh yeah, correct.
Yeah. I can see its eyes.
Oh my god, yeah, look at this.
Yeah.
So it's all mangled, cooked up bricks. I don't think the earth just spawns and puts this shit here and then they come with the ice age nonsense and stuff. I don't think so. So it looks like all this brick ash was like the liquid melt and it started like eating away at the bottom here before it stopped the heat and the event just stopped and eventually densified because all this is like brick ash, all this sand and stuff like that. Buildings in the past. This place got hit really hard.
Yeah, North Africa, I think.
Yeah.
The deserts now weren't deserts that long ago, for sure.
Yeah.
And then at the end of my search, I was like, shit, I want to look up some old photos and stuff because that's interesting. So supposedly, this is after and during the First World War. And none of us were around at that time to even document or confirm what happened or not. But some of these photos looks like they're way older, and it kind of looks like this is the state they found shit in during this takeover transition and stuff. Who knows? Could have been bombed like they claim, or it could have been this is how they found them after the cataclysm.
Yeah,
I don't even think they rebuilt those. I did a video on that place, the Cloth Hall and Cathedral.
Yeah.
I don't even know because if you look at the buildings that stand today, they look like they're hundreds of years old, and there's no pictures or documentation of the rebuild process at all.
Right.
So it's
Yeah,
like
we had
what's going on here?
photo cameras since like the 1870s or 80s or something.
Yeah,
Even before that too, sometimes.
it was supposed to be in the 30s to the 60s that they rebuilt that cathedral. Do you think they would have video? For fuck's sake.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Anyway,
you think?
you think?
Yeah. So here's another one, and it just looks fucking old, and like the landscaping hasn't been done, and it just looks like way older. That it's been like this for a long time. It don't look like this was a whole ass city alive, and then it just get bombs during a war and stuff. It looks way older to me. But I mean, I might be wrong, but that's just what my intuition and senses tell me, that this is not just some bombing recently, and this
No.
is the remains of it. It's just old. So, Second World War, who knows what happened? None of us are alive that was there. And yeah, look at this. Supposedly, this is just the bombings and the war. But look at everything around. I mean, everything just looks too old, and
It's
there's
overgrown. It's overgrown.
overgrown. There's I mean, they had to have like landscapers and stuff, and so it's been like this for years and years and years. So I don't know. That's just my thought. So maybe on my next show or video or something, I'll pull up some old photos and ask some questions and shit. I'm not saying I know all the answers, but I do know a lot of questions. So yeah, that's
it
my
makes
20 photos.
it makes me think, like, how many people really were left over left over from the cataclysm. How long did it sit there before whatever happened after that and repopulated and all that? But
did it all happen at once? Or do you think there's like aftershocks? What's your take on that, guys?
To me, I think maybe a big parts of the Earth were hit at the same time. I don't know. Could have been sections, continental sections. Could have been 2, 3, 4, 5 events. But I think it was like one, maybe two meltdowns. Probably one, but who knows?
All part of the same one, maybe. That's
Yeah.
kind of how I see it too.
Yeah, like a total realm reset, cataclysm, or catastrophic sabotage of some kind.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, the way they control things today, as we see, one big cataclysm, and then they can control, especially probably back then, whenever it happened, and they could do whatever and not really bat an eye and get rid of some of the stuff. But there's just too much stuff to get rid of, really.
But that's it. They'd have to get rid of everything, really.
Yeah.
They're just banking on us not waking up, but they probably know that we're going to wake up too. So it's just
it's
a losing
inevitable.
game. Yeah.
I mean, it's like when you lie about anything, like a major lie, and you keep putting lies on top of lies on top of lies. I mean, you're going to find out something. It's just gotten so ridiculous with all the indoctrination and their narratives and stuff. And then when people actually look, it's like, damn, I wasted a lot of time doing that shit.
Yeah, man.
In school, as far as school, which I never liked it, but
they've been using technology on us now for 100 years too, right? Using their technology to keep us from waking up, from remaining in our subconscious rather than a conscious state. Yeah.
So apparently they're gonna build a train on the moon with tax dollars. Or from a weapons contractor, and like, okay, yeah, that's exactly what we need right now.
It's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
For the
whole
human
wall
spirit.
is collapsing and nobody can survive anymore, and can't afford anything essential and stuff, and then we need a fucking moon train.
Like it's the ultimate. Look over there.
Yeah.
Look over,
Yeah.
And it's called money laundering.
Yeah, that too.
Well, we got to send 100 million to whatever to build a train on the moon.
Yeah.
Well, I think the whole space thing is in trouble, right? NASA representatives in trouble right now, big time.
I think so too. People are catching up, I think, and people are realizing how little, even if it was real, how little it fucking matters what's going on out there when they see the state of this place and how everything is crumbling and all the chaos and crime and killing and all this madness going on. They're like, oh, okay, fuck Mars. We got to fix this place first.
It's just movies, right? Most of it is movies. People have to get programmed intensely with.
Yeah. That was a good one.
Well, Disney and NASA are the same, right? Disney and NASA are bed buddies, whatever you want to call it.
We have a sticker on the rear window of our minivan, and it says "Lies" in the NASA logo. It's pretty fun, and the plate says "NASA Lie." It's pretty fun too.
Did you trigger anyone? You ever trigger anyone with that?
Just one that claimed. Okay, there's two. There've been three reactions because of the plates, and we had them for over a year and a half almost. So one said we were stupid because he worked for NASA, whatever he did on his computer. I mean, damn, who cares? And there was another one that pulled up at the red light on our left side, and he's like, "Oh yeah, it's all flat and stuff like that, and it's pretty cool." And then the other day, this is the craziest one. Okay, so there is I think a trio couple. So they're the alphabet soup people. Two of them were dudes appearing as females, and one of the dudes appearing as a female held the other one with a dog leash while they walked. They had skirts on and stuff, and they went over there for like an hour or so, and then they came back, and then he saw the plates on the minivan, one of them, he, she, whatever, and he said, NASA lie. Oh, these people gotta be flat earthers. I forgot these kind of people existed, and then they kept walking. Okay, look at yourself.
They
You're
have a thing
walking your
against people.
boyfriend, girlfriend with a fucking dog leash. I mean, what's wrong with these people? That's an abomination.
Well, it's manifesting in our reality. People are letting the demons manifest their identities because
Yeah, that's
they're not-
crazy.
if you don't wake up, I think that's where you're going. You exit this reality, or you manifest in that form, and eventually you exit anyway. It's terminal. It's a terminal way of thinking. There's no future in it. Any of that.
Yeah.
That's the first go-to too for people. Like it, I'm talking about, say, melted buildings or something. Are you a flat earther? I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm talking about bricks.
Yeah.
Like they just go to the whole flat Earth thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's
they're just-
unrelated at this point. Like, hey, what the fuck? We're talking about this melt. Yeah. I don't know
But
why.
It's a consciousness trigger mechanism. I think, though.
Yeah.
It's that's the switch they turn off, right? So they jump right to the switch. They can safely turn everything else off that you say.
Yeah.
If you know
I
what
think
I mean.
I think it might scare them too, like if with the melted building stuff, and then so they don't, because it's here and you can see it and touch it, and I'm showing it to them, and then they just say flat Earth, and I'm like, okay, never mind.
Well, I was there. I was on board with every conspiracy theory except for flat Earth. But before I even knew about meltology, and I kept saying, "Well, that's just a psyop to make all the other conspiracies look stupid," And then you realize I was being ignorant. I wasn't actually taking in the information and looking at it objectively, because it only takes a minute, maybe two. Like Joachim showed his picture of the Chicago skyline. Any rational thinking human being that sees that, and when you put the numbers up, should come to the conclusion that there's something wrong here.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's like either the globe Earth is like 1,000 times bigger than what they say, or it's simply just flat, like our senses tell us.
I think there's some sort of Kabbalistic sphere magic going on with what they set up in our solar system. Like I think there's an actual physical magic they've been using to control our consciousness, and they use that as a part of the framework, like the backbone of their matrix system.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Because
I looked into it a little bit at like the turn of the century, and one of the first movies was the Trip to the Moon. You've probably seen it, where there are a bunch of professors and they turn into wizards, and they're looking through the telescope, and they send a ship to the moon, and there's Martians. That was like 1902 or something.
Right.
Like that.
Yeah. I think I've seen that.
So I think that was one of the early setting of the narrative for people. Like, if you'd never seen a movie before, and you're going to see the first movie you've ever seen, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's like that's a hell of a program.
Wow. Yeah. I wonder how long they planned this shit for, and when they introduced all this. Did they think about the heliocentric deception before they potentially sabotaged this whole place with the cataclysm and all, and like, oh shit, if we reset this place, we can introduce them to this globe and set up this perfect slave system, or like who the hell came up with this shit? I mean,
I would assume they had a plan in place, especially if they had a hand in inducing the cataclysm. Like it gets into the millennial reign. The theory where people are saying Satan's been loosed. I don't think it's like, okay, what do we do now? Okay, let's set up. I think there's a framework involved with the hijacking of our consciousness. And I think that's one of the backbones for sure. And then they had to lay out the false history. It took a long time, and they had to get schooling systems set up, and they had to actually physically use technology like radio and television to pull this off. And it's still failing, even all the way down the line. They're still failing.
Yeah. I think the major school system didn't start till the early 1900s or something. I can't remember.
Which is funny because in a lot of my research, I see schools from the 1870s and 1880s and 1890s, and they're like little castles. Doesn't matter what city or town you're looking at. There supposedly were schools everywhere, but the schooling system, people hadn't really. It was World War I really that shook people up into a new way of existing, as far as we know. And then World War II, I think, was the hammer. The hammer was like was the cudgel on the top of the head. World War II, and then the wiping out of history. And you don't talk about the past. You don't talk about the war. Here's the future. Just look at the future, and then they can, subvert us with a false history.
Yeah, World War II was major. Like there was major stuff going on everywhere. If you really researched the different countries and what they were doing, that was the line in the sand almost of destroying stuff and taking over this whole place basically. So,
which they continued throughout the century too, and like with using the Western powers as the muscle. You have the communist takeovers of the major areas of the world, like China and Russia, and they have Cambodia. What happened there? That was like an overt erasing of history in Cambodia with Pol Pot. They just went out and they killed all the people, all the grown-ups who knew anything about anything, and let the kids run the show. It's like, well, that's pretty obvious, right? Lord of the Flies. So I don't know.
Yeah.
They're not on our side, that's for sure. They're not on our side.
That's for sure. Damn.
All right, I guess I'll get into just a little bit what I was going to show. It's okay, guys. And let's see here.
I'm just going to use the restroom real quick.
Yeah, man. Let's see here. Okay. Let's do this.
Nice.
And let's see. Yeah, I just I saw this about a week ago. This is totally accurate right here. This is just a little bit of truth right here. Everything else is around us.
Yeah. It's so basic the way they present history too. Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to.
Oh no, go ahead.
I'm just saying it's so basic the way that they lay out history for us in the schooling system. They don't want us to know that. Just give us a date and a person's name and move on to the next thing.
Yeah, that's it. And for me, which I know probably a lot of people, it was so boring just because of that reason. It's like the same story over and over again. It's like, all right, man. I mean, how do these people not change for all these years and all of a sudden now we're the smart ones? Yeah. It just made no sense. Get this off here. I just wanted to I got like 3 or 4 things real quick. So I've been to this Starfort. This was the last one I went to. And this was supposed to be the Battle of Mobile Bay. And I got a comment, I don't know, a few days ago, I think Scott Pike or something. And he was mentioning that, well, there should be like thousands of cannonballs everywhere. So I looked it up, and of course, you have all these cannons everywhere and depictions, pow, pow. and I mentioned, I'm just like, okay, maybe there was a fight, but I personally don't think so. So I looked up how many across the whole coast of Alabama and Florida. There's like 3 star forts right there, and some other forts. And there was a hurricane a few years ago that brought up all this debris. I got one more picture. These are supposed to be cannonballs, but there's only been a few hundred found. And there was, I think in this hurricane, there was like a couple of hundred that people picked up because they were all up on shore and stuff. I'm not sure what hurricane it was, but the point is, okay, cannonballs don't explode. As what Google says. They're just projectiles. And that's another thing. I've never seen a cannonball hole in any fort I've been to, and I've been to a few.
Good point.
They're just
And-
cast iron, right?
Right. They're just supposed to, what it says, they're just supposed to, they say, kill the men and horses or whatever. It's like a bullet. It's just lead or whatever. And of course, back in the day, they said it was stone but so the point is these look very almost rocky, but blobby. And of course they're connected, and you could say they were in the ocean or whatever for a while, but here's a better, clearer shot of some of those same ones, but it's like a blob here. Like, how did the cannonballs turn to this when they're just supposedly shot out and they don't explode? And these have some kind of acting over them, metal looks like. And different sizes. These are just 2 pics that I got, but I saw some other ones, and they're all different sizes, and that doesn't really make any sense to me either. I just
Right.
we're indoctrinated with the cannonball theory, and you see them shoot some, but it just doesn't make any sense why they look like this. All right. So, switching subjects here. I'm going to play a video. I'm going to go through it kind of quick. It's like a 9-minute video. It's fairly new. I saw pictures of this place. Let's see. I'm going to go back to that. So this is, I guess it's in Europe somewhere. I think it's called the Cannonballs quarry. It's a limestone. Let's see, lime. So what they're saying here is there was these kilns built whenever. They doesn't really specify where all these kilns and stuff were built, and then all these companies came together, and then in 1908 they just put this this cement structure on top of it in a highly unusual neo-Egyptian style. So they're saying this was all here, and they can't distinguish when it was built, and then they put all this on top of it. Now you see the video, and I want to pay attention if you can to, let me go back a little bit, to how far at the end of this, and you have this much in rails and this much, and of course that's all you get. It in the video, it doesn't look, it only goes like here and it drops off, it looks like, and you'll see in a minute. But of course, when they give you these construction photos, this is all they give you. It's done basically, and there's cranes. Let's see, there's just a couple of pictures, and I'll go to the video, but it's very interesting why does this all look this bad and this doesn't? And this place is humongous. It's the whole entire hill. There's structures everywhere. And you see what the blocks here look like, but there's brick all in it. And just the construction of what they're saying too is really weird. Why you would do any of this. Let's see if this is the last picture, and I'll go to the video. There's a bunch of tunnels, and they have these, whatever they are. They say that there were kilns for the limestone, but the transitioning from this block and rock to this brick, it's very, what do you say, suspicious? So I'm going to go.
Yeah, they look mangled.
Yes. Let's see if I can. Yeah, I got to pull this over real quick. Hold on, let's see. Yeah, that's not it. I'll do this.
Where is this again, Mark? I missed that.
It's what's the? I think it's the video. I'm about to pull it up, and he doesn't say where it's at. You can look. I think it's in Europe. Why isn't this working? Oh, sorry, guys. Let's see here.
It's pretty heavy construction there for sure. Crazy, like the picture he had before there.
All right. There you go. Yeah, are y'all not seeing this video? Are you?
No.
Okay. Okay, I'm just about to do this right here. You see it now?
Not yet.
Okay. Let me back out. Technical difficulties.
That looks like a footprint, that giant
Oh,
footprint. Right?
Okay, now we're... See, I couldn't see any of this. Stop screen. Why is it just letting me share? Okay. All right, I think we're finally there. How about that?
Yes, we can see it now.
Okay. I'm just going to run through it a little bit. Very beginning here. All right. So obvious huge blocks and just total destruction. And there'll be tunnels after tunnels. But
can you post a link to this in the chat?
Yes.
For credit, and so people can look up the channel if they want to.
Yeah, it's not a very old video. Actually, I'll do it when yeah, it's this channel here.
Oh,
I will link it. I'll just put it in probably the description box when we're done.
Oh yeah, that works.
But yeah, his description it doesn't say where this is at. It just says the name of it, and I can't remember the country it's in.
Crazy looking construction though, those big buttresses coming down out the front there.
But I'll stop it here in a second. And I've really never seen those before. Have y'all? Those type of whatever they're calling them,
No.
kilns, or I mean, they call them the limestone for limestone kilns, but just all this around the brick and into the big blocks, and then have two narratives on this. I think because it looks so different. I could be wrong. I could have built all this concrete looking stuff, but I don't think so. Once you get up, the destruction of it is insane.
Like, why would you?
Why? Yeah, why?
Yeah.
Right.
So reinforcing a highway above or something? Like, doesn't make sense. It's would be a massive construction project.
I know it looks like an interstate, right? The whole interstate.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. Yeah.
Let's go. And that whole hill behind it, there's just more structure. Okay, here's what I was saying, and let me go back. Right, it doesn't look that far from the ends of these to over here. In that construction black and white picture, they had buildings and stuff over here, like wooden buildings, but it looks pretty close. So
trees are young too. All the trees around it look like they're
Yeah.
30, 40. Some a little older, I guess, but not that old.
I'm gonna go up the hill, up the hill. Right. Let's see. So now he's kind of on top of it, and they just keep going up the hill. These structures. But now that narrative says basically that they only did the concrete looking stuff in 3 sections where he was on the bottom, but you have all this kind of huge blocks, and you see little pieces of brick all in this this construction here.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a crazy place.
Yeah.
I saw pictures on this thing like a year ago. Just there's not many when you look it up online, and all of a sudden this video came in my feed like a week ago.
Some of these structures are like out in the forest and nobody knows about them, and they're not marked on any like Google Maps or anything. They're just like there. So it's not a huge like attraction for explorers and stuff. We just don't know it's there.
Crazy complex. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he was saying, I think, that there's really nothing on it. It's nobody really goes there. It's just in the woods on top of a hill. I'd probably spend about a week there. But just that tunnel there, it's just all different. And when it comes around this corner, I think that's where it is too, that these, what looks like concrete next to each other, one's, you can see like one is, well, he's all over the place a little bit.
Wow, look at that wall.
Yeah, huge wall like this right there. Like this is still intact, and then this was just totally gone.
Yeah.
That blobby mess right there.
Erosion.
It's raining. That's what rain does.
Yeah. Corrosive. Acid rain.
That was a 1980s thing, wasn't it? Or early 90s?
Yeah. I vaguely remember it. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember turning on the 3 stations we had, and they were hammering it for like 6 months or something. Acid rain. Protect your cars, do all this. It was probably one of the climate change things they were.
Oh, definitely. Stepping stone. Yeah.
That's basically it. But yeah, like just an incredible structure.
There's some pulleys or something there too.
Yeah. Oh, weird. You know it's way bigger than what you can see too. You can just tell.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The cameras lie.
Let me. I don't know if anybody's put it in the description box, but okay. We're gonna go to this one. Where is this? I've only seen pictures of this, and this is a very recent video. I'll put it in the description too, but I've never seen inside of it. And this person goes all inside of it. I just want to go to a few points. But this is supposed to be, what it says is right pre-World War II. And so they're going to have to burrow all this out. And it looks just totally, even this one up here is sideways. So just to get the scope of it before it goes in, and then I'll fast forward. It's like a 30-minute.
This is high up there.
Yes.
What are you supposed to defend from there? Like, what are they supposed to attack up there? Like, damn.
It's the very top of this supposed
look
mountain.
at this. Yeah.
Yeah, what are you protecting up there? So I guess just keep in mind I even give them 1930s. Let's gonna go chisel all this out or blow it all up, and then we're gonna just make huge tunnels. And this is all made
And
from
make
brick.
them real nice too.
Yeah, and they're just tunnels and little bitty rooms for it seems like miles. And we're gonna see how all this what you're looking at is made of brick. Once I get to that part, let's see.
Damn, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It really. I watched this whole thing. He just keeps walking upstairs, downstairs, into rooms. Where is that? I thought I had this. You see some red there, but it gets better.
That's the showers in there.
Yeah. Man, I missed it. No, I didn't. So here we go. So you're just over and over with all these bricks, internals. It's just got an outer coating on it, covering. So when do you have time to just even blow all this up to even build this? As far as go, this is all inside the mountain.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah.
And like, what purpose would this have served?
Right, they're just small little square rooms everywhere.
Prison of some sort. Like it's weird.
Then you have to bring all the materials, even if and build this.
In a war while you're being attacked.
Yeah.
Right. Like
wow.
However many thousands of feet up. Yeah, it just goes on forever. Like the whole mountain is supposed mountain is burrowed out, basically. I'm gonna go to one more part. It's right here. Well, let me go back. These bricks, and then you start getting stuff like this. These brick-looking things with the holes in them, just rubble here. It's weird. I've seen those type of bricks, but not many. And down here, this is just all different.
Why is it messed up like that?
Yeah. Why does it look like that? Right there. Like it's supposed to be normal bricks. But this is not normal bricks. They're all pancaked or whatever.
They're not uniform in size, that's for sure.
No.
Which bricks are supposed to be. That's the advantage of working with bricks.
That must be the vandals coming all the way in there with a sledgehammer.
Yeah.
Modifying it, reinforcing it for tourism down the road.
Yeah.
Oh my God, commercial. Let's see. And they've got a lot of these. And usually when you look out these windows and stuff, the mountain, the rock, the building is in the way to do anything kind of to the right. You can only, I guess, shoot to the left to that other huge mountain over there. I mean.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's crazy. Let's get out of here.
It's amazing just how much there is.
It really is.
It keeps coming.
This is just a short. This is all in some other language, so I don't know where this is at, but I don't know if y'all have seen this, but all I see is melted on top.
Damn. Yep.
What else
Wow.
could you think? Like, I mean, this rock is even not even touching the ground. It's all the way across.
It's like a halfway in between what we call natural caves and the building.
Yep.
Weird.
Almost like stalactite, stalagmite looking, and then I'm sure they have a narrative about it. About a long time ago, they just built all these blocks and stuff in it.
Monks, think?
Yeah,
Monk? Usually monks, right?
right. But yeah, it just keeps going. It's pretty incredible. That first part was amazing when I saw it. That's me. Let's see here. Let's go out of here. I had, let's see, just a few pics. I just grabbed this. Where's okay? Oh, shit. Lost my train of thought. Okay.
So 87 people in here. Thanks for coming, guys.
Oh yeah, thanks everybody for being here.
Mm.
Oh, that's not the one I wanted. These are just a few in Afghanistan. I love the stands, and just good examples as far as it's melting. A building that is melted. See it. All this here, as we say, of course, here at the channel and many other channels, this is all structure back here. This makes no sense why you would do any of this on the side of the mountain. And here you see the bricks in the supposed rock and stuff too. It's just a mangled mess. There's bricks everywhere.
Remember when they said Bin Laden was in a cave in Afghanistan? Yeah. Maybe it was a pretty sweet cave. Maybe it was like an old world building cave, right?
I'm sure it probably had a swimming pool and everything in it, right?
For sure, yeah. Water, right?
Wow.
Yeah, I love this place.
Yeah.
Yeah, Afghanistan. That's nuts. It's amazing. You can see it in the foreground, and the background is almost identical, but it's what we'd be told is natural.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, you see all the little pieces just like up here everywhere. As far as the eye can see, I mean, there's buildings here. Some up. I mean, why would you build that up here? It's total destruction. It's just more bricks. You can see it dripping.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I've been to supposed 300 million, 600 million year old places that they say, and the outside of the walls look like this, just dripping.
How do you know those aren't the skin cells on an ancient elephant? Giant
elephant?
Well,
I did for about 2 weeks, about 4 years ago.
You got to stay open-minded here, Mark. Come on.
I mean, yeah. Tell those people you do you, I guess. I mean, don't mind all the bricks everywhere.
No.
But, anyway. And just like this here from the top, it's just all coming down, melted down. You know, a lot of these places too, especially all the stands, I don't think they get a lot of rain. And so, like the weathering, it makes no sense, of course.
If it's not the rain, it's the wind.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, like here.
Wow.
It's just scattered.
Yeah.
Little bits of buildings still left over, pockets of survival.
Detailed building, very detailed that is too. Like little decorations, you know. It's like makes no sense.
No. Yeah, we're gonna do all this, ornate stuff to these out in the middle of nowhere. But I think that's it. Let's see. Where was I? Right here. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I just had a few of those things to show. Was going to show some old stuff, but I ran into those, so I figured I'd just show that.
It's good. Thank you
For
for
you.
sharing.
Yeah, it was amazing actually. Some of that stuff, like the shape of those structures that those people are exploring, you know, and like how huge they are. It's hard to wrap your head around, you know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes, I mean, and those people walking around, they just like I would be 4 or 5 years ago. They had no clue, and they even ask questions like, "Man, how is this possible? What is this?" Well, they don't
Yeah.
tell us anything. We don't know really the year they're building it. We don't have construction photos, so you're just you're blind basically.
They often ask the questions and then they kind of shrug it off. So it's like a natural question to ask, you know, but then they move on to the next really without thinking about what they're asking.
Right.
Right.
The
Well, you don't
senses
know
are
where to start.
conflicting with their minds and stuff.
Yeah, what they're seeing is obvious, but
Mhm.
what they're told about a place is completely different. So
And
we're
just
seeing
don't know where to
cognitive
start.
dissonance. Yeah.
Yeah. You just don't know where to start. I mean, that's the main thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you guys want to see some of mine? Do you have time?
Of course.
Got time.
Okay. This is from a couple of years of poking around, like I said, after watching Tartarian Meltdown and the documentaries. I thought I was getting pretty good at seeing it. So I would go around on Google Maps and I would save images of random places. And you find it everywhere too. It's amazing, actually.
Yeah.
You know,
It's all your fault too, Joachim.
You're welcome.
My kids will say it, Joachim. My kids will say it's all just melted buildings.
That's good. That's beautiful, though.
Yeah, that's
They
great.
love it.
Keep
Oh yeah,
passing it on and stuff. That's how we break this curse of brainwashing and shit.
yeah. It's natural to see what you're seeing for sure.
You want us like this, Chris, or on the bottom?
But no, it's just fine. Whatever. Yeah.
Okay, go back to that.
Whatever you want. I'm good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is just my random what I perceive to be post cataclysm remains, unless you really needed to build a bridge over this chasm, you know, and melt it into the cliff.
Yeah.
Amazing that it stands too. The structure of the arch is so strong, you know.
Yeah. I think that's why we see a lot of archways, obviously, because they're so strong.
Yeah.
They're left over.
Could be I mean the dome of the Earth as well. If it's a dome, I'm not sure, but it could be. And if it's a dome, it's the same shape. It's very, very strong.
Mm-hmm. Like perfect shape. Yeah.
Yeah.
You probably know this. This looks like Turkey, somewhere in Turkey, I think. I'm not sure though.
Looks like it. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks very much like Turkey.
Yeah. You see these all over the place over there. You know, in different forms. There's the coloring too that's a giveaway. You get this sort of grayish charcoal, and then you get the light. I don't know what do you call that? Like a beige, almost a reddish beige. You get that in combination a lot. Those two colors. You know.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
also the detailing and why would you need to carve these things? Like spend a lot of time with the detailing and all that, and it's pretty much just a little opening. You can just fit like one human in there.
It's grain storage.
So why do you have to make it so pretty and all that stuff?
Yeah. Yeah, that's where you just store your food. It doesn't make sense, right? The
Yeah.
narratives they attach to these things is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. How about this one? How do you like this one?
Oh my god.
The
Yeah,
building's puking. Come puking out of here. Hey, you can see it. You can still see the brick here and down here. You know. And you can go walk around this area too. And all this even
Yeah.
I think was all the same.
Hmm.
It was all uniform.
You wouldn't make these things with cobblestone because with the horses pulling you on those wooden wheels without shocks and stuff like that, and the horse itself had to walk on this, they'll mess up their feet, and it's a very bumpy ride. It's not pleasant at all. So they have these beautiful, gorgeous, massive buildings, and then the roads are just so shitty. It don't make sense to me at all.
Yeah, the wagon wheel maker was doing really well. Right?
Yeah.
Whoever made the wagon wheels, because those things would have been busting all over the place too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, love this one. I'd love to go there. This would be a fun place to go check out. I think.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah. That's like 26 hours away from here or something, like 30 hours, something crazy like that. So with the crazy schedules and shit, it's difficult to do, but
Expensive
maybe
too.
one day, Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You can see the brick here too, at the top. I don't know if you can see that.
Yep.
Again, it's the combination of detail. What for? Reinforced for tourists up here, I guess.
And they're all different. All three of them different damage. So.
Yeah, this is pretty good evidence. This Petra area in Jordan. And of course, I'm sure they lay the narrative on thick there too. The Nabateans, and they carved everything. They were just good carvers, apparently. I think we're in Iran, Afghanistan, somewhere like that right now too. It's very similar. Weird. A couple different states in here too. You can see the bricks here with the outline, bigger bricks, kind of mud looking.
The old mud bricks, right?
And then you get to the bottom, and it's all just sort of blends with what we call the hillside. I think it's back in Germany. This one.
Oh my goodness! Yeah.
The blistering up the walls, eh?
Mm-hmm.
So they would have us believe they filled this area in between the two, right? Filled it in.
And some just believe that more than exploding out, like we say, popcorning out, whatever. But that they'd rather believe that they built around it, I guess.
Well, yeah.
For a massive project like that, I'm sure they would find a different location, maybe.
Yeah.
To make
There's so many other better locations.
Somewhere that's flat.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe somewhere that's flat. Let's start there.
But it shows you how powerful that programming is, right? When it's right in front of your face.
Yeah.
And your mind is trained to not see what you're actually seeing with your eyes, but to explain it in the most ridiculous ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
The colors, right? The uniformity of the colors. Very scorched up here. Look at this. It's turned into pebble bricks. But there's still brick color. A lot of them.
Yeah.
And then the bottom is just like, you could see the difference. The popcorn started popping down here. Didn't quite pop. These are the kernels that didn't pop up here, but they just got scorched by the pan. And then these are the popcorn that started popping. I like that analogy, the popcorn rock. I think you've used that before, Joachim, to explain it. How they just expand, right? Like there must have been a heat point where they just went poof, in some cases.
Yeah.
One of my favorites, this one too.
Why would you need that?
Yeah. Maybe there was a cave underneath this rocky outcropping, and they decided they would make use of that overhang and turn it into a room.
Yeah.
It's the exact same shape as what they'll tell us is natural.
I mean, the line goes straight down. It matches up.
Yeah. Crazy. Yeah, that one's in Italy. There's a town in northern Italy, and
it's a pretty flat area. So if you pick a different location in the area there to build, you can choose how big you want the rooms and stuff like that.
That's true. You weren't governed by the ceiling height here.
Yeah.
I like this area too. In is it Yemen? I think it's Yemen.
Yeah, I think it is.
You guys probably know this place, yeah. But again, I mean, go to the flat location, right? Why you need to weave into this rock here? Is it sacred to your ancestors?
And most of the time, you'll look to the left of these places, and it'll be flatter, or there won't be a lot of rock and stuff and boulders. Why didn't
Over
you
here.
just build it to the left?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah, and the block sizes is interesting too, and it changes from,
Yeah.
the gingerbread look, I think they call this. Yeah.
It's also
Yemen.
a beautifully decked out building, the details and stuff like that. So
Yeah. Inherited for sure. Post cataclysm.
yeah.
Somebody.
Yeah.
What a strange. That would be interesting to see too. It's amazing how it's preserved in different ways in different locations here. There's a bit of reinforcing been going on here. They wanted to reinforce the header over the opening here, so they put a strip of thin brick.
Yeah. It's like 2 millimeters, thick.
That's all it needed. That's all it needed, and then it was strong enough to withstand tourists walking underneath it.
Yeah.
Put those boulders in there, right in that column over there to the right.
Yeah.
A little thin brick and then boulder.
Yeah,
Shove
just
them in
slam it in there.
You can see the pattern here too. What it might have, sometimes patterns have different signatures too, so you can see that in there.
The layer thing,
Mm-hmm.
which is strange. Looks
Which
like
goes-
it has something to do with the electricity going in certain places for certain reasons or something, messing up the area more than others. It's very strange.
Conductivity, right? Affects different materials or different patterns. Yeah. It makes sense. It does make sense. Yeah. That Turkey, that same look, and imagine walking up and that's the hillside you see, and you can see the melt, so your jaw's on the floor, but people that can't see the melt, like, oh, it's just caved or just carved 2,000 years ago. No big deal. You don't want to see that.
Right.
Look at that.
Great one.
They switched from Yemen, that picture you had in Yemen, it was built around the rocks. And then they had to, when it looks like this, it was carved.
Yeah. They got hammer and chisel, right?
Yeah.
With donkeys.
With donkeys, and all these details are very important.
So they had a couple different shaped chisels to work with that could do different angles, right? Like we do, and where I work with wood, you have different shaped chisels to do different things, right?
Right.
But these guys, I can imagine sharpening chisels when you're taking them to stone.
Oh my goodness!
And a lot of them didn't have steel. A lot of these locations are very rudimentary form of a strong steel. Like it's ridiculous. Because isn't it Japan and Germany traditionally have like some of the strongest steel in the world? Probably a few other locations too, but there was steel, like quality of steel was in our narrative that they give us was a big thing. It's like they have a stronger steel than we do, so we're doomed. Their swords are better than ours, kind of thing.
They also said copper chisels as well. I think in Egypt and stuff, and that's even softer than the shittiest steel. So
yeah, I was about to say that's not going to work out too well, I don't think.
It's hardly a metal. Copper's hardly a metal at all.
Yeah. We've been so tricked, guys.
Tell them it's copper chisels. Ha ha.
Yeah.
The Copper Age, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. This one's interesting too, reminding me actually of a lot of places you see in the States, Capitol buildings and things like that. You see a lot of this, it's identical. Even the pillars here, you can tell they were like a shiny granite not long ago. Even here, you can see it. Yeah.
Right, and the statue of the woman to the right.
Here.
Pretty nice statue right there. Very detailed. Did it chisel this out too, or is it a mold, or like what's going on here?
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't make sense, does it?
Or the dude. Sorry, maybe it's a woman, maybe it's a dude. I don't know. I just realized I don't see any titties.
They started that a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
Dude
Yeah, that's interesting because of the way that they paint out the narrative. with art in our history is like there was like 3 really good artists that carved, and their works can be found in the British Museum and the blah blah blah. But this stuff is everywhere. This type of detail, the artistic detail. It's like the paintings on the ceilings in a lot of the buildings that you see. There you find when you look into it, they're everywhere. It's
Mm-hmm.
not just at the Sistine Chapel or whatever you want to call it. So they have diversions that draw your attention and say,
Yeah.
just look here. Natural or man-made? Go.
The Earth spawned that here
Titan.
during creation.
A hard 90. That's a hard 90. You can see it because even in this pixelated picture, you can see how hard that 90 is there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Weird too. Weird. Like, how do you explain this? That's a doorway to nowhere.
This is really important. We needed that. Carve it in there. Come on, guys. We need to do this.
It's a portal. Maybe it's
Yeah.
a portal.
Yeah.
You can see it bending outward too on the bottom.
Let's see.
Like
here.
You can see those bending outward, like it's coming down. So.
Yeah. Like it's being crushed right here for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. You can, you can envision when you burn a piece of plastic. Although I know we're not supposed to burn plastic. There's people I know that would kill you for trying to burn a piece of plastic.
Hey, they're cutting down the rainforest. I don't think it matters that you burn a plastic bottle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When it starts to ripple and then cave in on itself, if you've ever seen it, and that seems to be kind of what we're seeing here. And then it froze and stopped, or whatever happened. This is crazy, actually. The top two, like, is that? Look at this writing in here.
Yeah.
Why would they do that there? It's weird.
Some kind of old like runes or something.
Yeah.
Rune writing. And
there's that coloring again too, with that charcoal and that reddish melt. You see it a lot in places like Thailand and stuff too. They those places you can boat around and they have those basically melted buildings everywhere covered in greenery.
Mm-hmm.
You see that.
And that charcoal stuff and blackening is all over here around me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can tell right there, look, the buildings on the bottom that are kind of level, and then that whole what they call mountain in the background is leaning.
Yeah.
And going this way to the right. Yeah. And then this one sort of destabilized and is kicked back to the left. Up here, you can see it going this way now.
Yeah.
Or they went up there and they built a circular turret to guard out and make sure the invading armies wouldn't get there. The narrative is so stupid. The loincloth, it's all part of the loincloth narrative,
Yeah.
It's to make us feel stupid about ourselves, I think.
It's like the comic section to me now. I read them to laugh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And it's just war. We were just killing each other. It's all we've ever done is just killed each other. Spears, swords, guns. It's all we ever wanted to do is kill each other. That's what they want us to think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is a bad spot to build a wall. You wouldn't think that would be stable.
Right.
Yeah. Right? Who built that archway right there? That's very dangerous.
Yeah. I heard a dozen people died trying to make it.
For 40 bricks.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
I'd like to see the blueprints and drawings of these places, because you need that. If you're going to have 200 men building these brick structures, you need a couple of drawings. Otherwise, you can't have the proper communication, how to organize and put this shit together. So why is there no drawings of these places?
Yeah, you need to be able to meet in the right spot when the time comes. If you've got groups of men working in different locations on a structure, right?
Yeah. And you need to calculate all the bricks and then contact like the brick factories and they need to deliver that with horses and stuff. I mean, damn, it's a whole thing that people don't really think about. It's a whole process.
And how do you contact the brick factories too? What
Letters.
do you use? Letters.
You
Send out a
dove.
rider?
Yeah.
Send a mule. Yeah, that's right.
You send a dove with a little note on it.
Right.
Well, yeah, like Game of Thrones, right? Send out a raven. Raven's a pretty good way to communicate, actually.
Yeah.
This is interesting too. And they throw this guy up there
Oh.
on the top there. I think it's in France somewhere, right? But you got a cathedral on top of a little mountain, and you can see down here too. You know.
Yeah.
The arches are still there.
Looks really fun to climb up there with bricks in your backpack and a few ropes and stuff and start building there.
Yeah. It's only the young and healthy that make it to the top these days, right? Or the ones with a helicopter. If you have a helicopter, you can just land.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's weird. I don't know where this is, but it's I bet you there's no story attached to that.
Probably not.
That's strange. And you can see the sort of the crispiness on top.
Yeah, just seeing
like
that.
The cheese started to get crispy, yeah, and definitely melty, crispy. But it's like it reminds you know what it reminds me of. I mean, not to give you another movie reference, but Indiana Jones when the guy's face melts. I don't know if you remember that. It's the second Indiana Jones movie, and the guy drinks from the cup, and then his face melts.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the third. That's what this reminds me of.
That's the first, isn't it? Or
I don't. Let's not debate this.
Oh no! That's
the point is melting wax. These buildings look like they're just like it's almost like they can't get a coating before they actually completely disintegrate. It all becomes sort of one.
Yeah.
And it just droops and it's gone. So it's like this is in that stage where it's just about to fall, but something stopped it. What do you think stopped it?
Yeah.
Good question.
I wonder.
I do think water had something to do with it, but other than that, I don't know. There had to be some kind of cooling instant.
Well, that's what I wonder. So I wonder if it's like getting into the whole good versus evil thing or God versus devil thing. What if it's the evil forces doing it and then God coming and say, "Oh no, you don't." Just like a boom boom sort of event where it's just a very brief event, but so much destruction had happened, but it was stopped. It was like too much. I don't know. I'm just spitballing.
Yeah, I mean, they talk about the great flood and stuff in the Bible and the windows of heaven opening and flooding everything and shit like that. Maybe that's just a metaphor and it's actually like the cool down or something. Especially if we're in a dome that's underwater somewhere and stuff, then it's like it's possible that a lot of water could come in here very quickly or something like that.
Yeah, I like that one too. The crack in the firmament.
Right.
Temporary opening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can go back to you could go back to the plastic bottle thing, Chris, and say you had it on a stove with a gas stove, and then you just turn it off or get it off the pot, whatever, and it's going to stop.
Or put it in water.
Or
you quickly dip it in cold water, right?
Yeah,
that makes sense too. Actually, I did something called the tonkulu with my daughter. It's like a coating of sugar over on fruit, and it's the same thing. And you use an ice bath to stop the sugar and it just like creates a shell, right? So just as an example, the sugar would just solidify. Water would just solidify it in a heartbeat, right? And leave it in weird states like this. I don't know what that's supposed to be.
Yeah,
almost looks like an antler. Weird.
Yeah.
You really had to build that little wall right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very necessary.
Yeah. Let's see. Get a little closer and it starts to show up. You can see it all up here. All the walls. It's amazing how much of this there is too. And like I've scoured places like Armenia. In this part of the world, Turkey, Armenia, there seems to be a lot of this going on where it's exposed, and they don't they build that into their narrative now. Oh, they dug 17 layers underground and something like that. They use it as defenses from the invading armies.
Yeah,
I think they work that into the historical narrative now.
I don't even know what this current generations are being taught in school and shit. Got 4 kids that's 5, 7, 9, and 11. That's in school, but they say there's so much bullshit, and they're all flat earthers and stuff like that, and
they're as long as they know it's bullshit.
Yeah,
which is kind of the battle, right? Just keep making sure they're not getting sucked into the system.
Then they're like, screw this test. I'm like, yeah.
I know a lot of people say get them out of the system, do this, but it's not as easier said than done.
It is difficult. You need to be in the correct circumstances to be able to do that.
I mean, you're basically in a jail cell, and then you have to escape, figuratively saying, and then you have to escape from the jail cell, and you just keep having to get more and more out of the system, and it's hard. It's hard.
And I don't know if everyone retracts from that system, then it's really going to be an echo chamber. They're not going to have any kids that are questioning the narrative, So you almost need that. You need to keep impacting, that sphere so people know that you can question their bullshit. It's okay, right? They just want, because that's what they want is everyone to leave if you're going to question it, right? Just a little echo chamber.
Yeah.
Here's a good one too.
Probably
Turkey.
So
I don't know how
you had to rappel down from the top with a chisel and then start hammering in there or something like.
Well, have you ever considered foot chisels?
Right. So it was so high up, and then they say, well, they had to protect themselves from the fucking wolves and dinosaurs and shit like that. But damn.
What about this room? How do you explain that? Why did they build that? Yeah.
Right. That must have taken years, and then okay, screw this. It don't work as I planned or something.
After 40 years, you're like, you know what? It still kind of looks like shit. We should probably build over there on that flat space. Yeah.
Pyramid.
Yeah.
Coked out. Wow.
Yeah. Look at all those bricks. Just insane amount.
Little maybe tried to start an arch halfway and then decided, no, we don't need an arch here.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Here's an arch. You kind of see it.
Oh yeah.
An opening. And then this opening is more intact with the sort of, it's like the Great Pyramid, right? It has that sort of, some of the area looks like this and others look like mangled.
Yeah.
Like Mark, you showed that on one of your recent videos, the bricks in the pyramid. I thought was it's pretty good because like the building blocks of the realm, really.
Yeah, that video was put out a while back, and I really didn't see it, but there were so many more. I could have made a 2-hour video really of the pyramids all over there's like 2,000 they claim just in America.
Yeah.
There's just so many of them.
Yeah, and it's interesting because you just wouldn't have thought, like, our narrative doesn't allow for red bricks in certain situations. I had one in Sicily. I had a bunch of stuff like columns in Sicily, and it's supposed to be big stones that they chiseled, right? But they're brick core. And then Thailand, all over that area, Cambodia, Thailand, all those temples, they're just coated brick, red brick.
Yeah. You see that in the statues and stuff too.
That's right.
The coating is off, and then it's just the core of the huge ass statues are just brick.
Yeah.
It's not carved or chiseled or anything like that. So.
And I don't think they account for that in the narrative. They just say, they just said they're temples, and it's like the AI is playing catch up on the narrative, trying to catch up to what we're discovering. This is a good one too. This one is showing you the at least two different states. Pretty more than that, really.
So the left bottom is all brick, and the right bottom is all whatever they could find in the area, and then put bricks on top of that.
Right.
Yeah. Well, the shipment hadn't arrived yet. And they were
Yeah.
under pressure to finish.
We're on
So they went.
deadline, guys.
They had it. That's right. The Duke of the area needs it built. Too sweet. Yeah. Yeah. And it's always that the peasants doing it for the aristocracy. That's always a part of it too.
Yeah.
You know, it's all part of their narrative. And then they're the aristocracy, though. So it's like we've always been their servants. That's what they want us to believe. We didn't exist at a higher state. We didn't create beautiful things. We've always been their servants and doing it for them.
Right.
It's bullshit.
It is. Government is supposed to be our servants, but it's been too corrupted.
Yeah.
Yep, total opposite, as everything else is, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just a blubbery mess there.
Look this though. You can see the walls and arches.
Yep.
That maybe is a bit of a brick wall. Look in here.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's 100% chisel work right there.
Right.
Has to be. They can't explain that any other way.
Well, it looks like melted ice cream, though.
Well, that's why they were drawn to that location, because they like the look of it. That's why they started carving there.
So pretty.
It is nice. It has that almost gone look, right? Almost melted. All right, I could go on forever, but I think that's probably enough for now. What do you think?
It's up to you, man.
Well, yeah, whatever you feel like. I got time, so.
You got time? Okay.
I just got a piss though, and that's all. But you can keep going, of course.
I'll see if I can find a Sicily. I want to show you guys that. Here, let me pull off, and I'll poke around for a while. We can have a chat. Oh, now that's.
Mm-hmm. That is actually, I think that's in Russia. Yeah.
But it's you see how close it looks to caves, what we call caves.
Let me go back. Where's the? Yeah, so I mean, you can see right there. I mean, that's brick stalactites, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many examples like that too. I don't know. I don't know why people can't see.
Tell me about what's the climate like down where you are these days?
I'm pretty tired of it, really. I was telling you, yeah, the heat. It's every summer's different here, but I think last summer there was like a month of it that was just almost unbearable. The humidity, man, we had, I don't know, a month and a half. The humidity now is not too bad, but it's been brutal pretty much for the past month and a half straight. But
yeah,
we had a dry spell for like a month at one time. It's all over the place. Yeah, it's hot. It's your, I guess probably what we would have here fall. Right? You're like pretty. I mean, does it ever really get like steamy where you're at, or
no? We get what we call like 30 degrees Celsius, which I don't know. That's not even 100 for you guys.
Yeah,
with 30
I use Celsius too, normally from Norway and stuff.
Okay.
So I'm still trying to convert over to Fahrenheit and miles and inches and shit, but
it's a tough one.
Yeah, it is kind of difficult, but you know, if there's a problem, I got converters on my phone and stuff. So
yeah. So this, I got a short file. There's 23 photos in this file, and I called it red bricks in places that we weren't really told they were, right? So this is what we were just talking about. This is some sort of Southeast Asian temple. And even here, you can even see the red bricks in the statue here. Once you get past the mouth starts to come off.
Yep.
And here.
Right. When I first started looking into this stuff, sorry, Chris, the statue thing, I was like, wow, even they're made of brick. Just crazy.
Yeah, I'm still there. It's like, this is okay by anyone's logic that doesn't know anything about this. This is a stone that they carved into a statue. There's no way you would think otherwise. You know what we're supposed to think of the area. So when you see this kind of thing, maybe that's why they bombed the shit out of Cambodia in the 70s, eh? Getting rid of the
Yeah.
evidence.
Yeah.
Had to be. And not just Cambodia, I think it happened in a lot of places. Pompeii, you guys are probably well familiar with Pompeii.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
That's a
core
prime
core
example right
columns.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. Just bricks and laid in this way to give that fluting. So
Yeah.
they can put the coating on and it looks like a single piece of, yeah.
Looks pretty.
Mm-hmm. And whoever did this kind of work knew what they were doing. This isn't done by unskilled apprentices or slaves or
Slaves, right?
people who are barely getting by day to day with a crust of bread. Like
Yeah.
it's stupid.
Yeah, it is.
It's a magnificent work,
Yeah.
magnificent quality of work like this. Without its coating, I think.
Yeah. I mean, just like the Star Forts, most of them around in America, they're supposed to be built by slaves. I mean, it's just the precision of those things. It's just incredible, and the amount of bricks, and they just say slaves.
Mm-hmm.
Slaves don't even get to read or anything back in the days.
Couldn't read the plans then, right? They had to have the architect there telling them where to place the brick, apparently. Right. The Masonic architect. It's always some sort of, somebody who's been elevated in our history books. Here you go. Yeah. Look at this is mangled big time. Look at that.
Oh my goodness. Yep.
Weird. You can see a bit of it there too.
It's interesting to see old black and white photos of some of these places, and then you see a group of these people in suits and top hats and stuff like that. That's like the parasites coming in there and claiming and naming these areas and stuff is what I think.
I agree with that. That's how I feel as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they're part of the those networks, right? They're all linked up with a larger network, and I think you get a little bit of brick. Hard to tell in this one. Hard to tell, but you're kind of seeing some of it up here. The remains.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you can see it on here, really easy, and there.
Oh yeah,
there it is.
All right. So again, I'm pretty sure this one's Sicily, and they definitely would have told us that they chiseled these and into single pieces. There's no, like, and people just don't look that closely.
Mm-hmm.
Or even when you look, your brain doesn't see what you're actually seeing.
No, most of the time you won't even see the brick. It doesn't compute. You just look past it. So
it's interesting. Yeah, I like the rounded bricks on the bottom too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Rounded to a specific curve. Yeah. More of those temples.
Tech all day.
Yeah. All day.
So many bricks. It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
It makes you think of Minecraft, like, is that what this realm really is? It's just like, was created like a game of Minecraft.
That wall is also pretty much infinite, and it's also flat, which most video games walls are. It's all built on a flat thing.
Makes sense. Yeah. But this is one of my favorites too. You can see it right next to each other, the difference. What it looked like, sort of. This is still scorched. You can tell it's seen some heat from above, it looks like in this case.
Yeah.
But it's neat to see the scorched bricks for sure, right? And then
all brick with an outer covering. I mean, that's all it is.
Yeah, here's that same location we saw earlier, and you can see them a lot better here.
Oh yeah, look at that. Yep.
Yeah. All the way down. So that implies all of these are built in the same way. Makes sense. So these are all red brick. And then even bricks like this too, right? This gets back to what we were talking about with the pyramids. You can see how melted these are too.
Oh yeah.
It's like it's funny how they chunk up into bigger blocks.
Yeah.
It's really weird, but that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean,
so crazy cataclysm, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
big mess, eh? Looks like shit, but you can tell. Not
Yeah.
so. It was amazing.
Yeah.
You know. More columns. Same thing everywhere. Pompeii again, that one. A good mix here. You can see that pebble, and then you have the bricks.
There should be so many questions in one picture like that.
Yeah. Still Pompeii. This is the road. You wouldn't want to take the horse and wagon down that road, would you?
No.
Yeah, it's interesting there because it looks like there's tracks
Yeah. Here.
in what used to be kind of like a little bit like melted, like
Mhm.
not solid completely, like whatever car or whatever they had back in the days, like they tried to get the hell out of there or something. I don't know.
Mhm.
There is these tracks in there, which is very interesting.
Look more of this. This one really got me actually when I started to see red bricks and these Southeast Asian temples, because it to me it's illogical. It's a vast departure from the historical narrative, unless we're supposed to believe that that's what they were using for everything down there as well. You know, in Southeast Asia, like
It looks very top heavy, so there's more under, and it
Yeah.
also looks like the tops of like spark plugs or something.
Exactly. Yep.
Hmm.
Don't they usually say it's the Romans that used the red bricks? Isn't that what they usually try to tell us? Put the narrative.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure the
Probably.
Romans weren't building these temples in Thailand.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. Right. That's that same place again. It's scorched though, just scorched for sure.
Yeah, definitely heat coming from the top somehow at some point.
Mm-hmm. We got some Roman reinforcing going on here around the statue. Yeah. And then above too. Yeah.
The statue got like a antenna thing on his head, like a hat with some kind of tech.
Just like the
Yeah,
temples
that
we just saw
the
here,
next
right?
photo as well.
Yeah, just like
Yeah.
those. Yep.
Yeah. I have a couple. Yeah, this one
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, there.
Yeah.
Unless
Yeah.
it's fashion, it had some kind of purpose.
Yeah. No, I mentioned Cambodia because I really suspect they were on a mission to destroy evidence before the world could travel and
Hmm.
extract a lot of it. You know, that's pretty obvious to me. Why else would they just bomb the jungle, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, that's my red brick to the core, right? Red brick to the core. There's much more there than we realize. That's a good one too. A couple different states here. Look at the top here.
Yep. Totally changed. Yeah.
Yep.
Still got some roof. Those clay tiles seem to stand the
Yes.
test of the cataclysm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Made of the same stuff as bricks, really, aren't they? Same material,
Yes.
probably.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I used to think that people they would put those on top of the buildings, so the destroyed buildings or whatever. That I say destroyed, but like this, and then they would just put those on top. But I think those were left over, just like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Interesting.
Hmm.
Oh, all
Like
right.
the terracotta piping and stuff like that.
Well, they've moved to all the plastic now, right? All their pipes are PVC and ABS,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah, they went from the terracotta to they did have copper.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Copper.
and
Yeah.
then now the PVC and stuff.
Yeah. I know a few hardcore like traditional plumbers that will still only use copper. Actually, they might be retired now, but there were a few in my time that refused to go to PEX, which is the plastic. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, my dad was a plumber actually back in the day, and he talked about that all the time.
The takeover of the plastic.
Yeah, he told me that now this has been years ago. He went to a different job. He's retired now, but he left the industry just because there were so many regulations and stuff, and switching to crap basically, and
Right.
and inspectors, and all that. So, but
Yeah, I just had my run-in here I'm doing a renovation off the front of my house, and I didn't get a permit from the municipality, and they slapped a stop work order on the front of my house, and they
oh
came and looked at it.
wow,
Jesus.
Yeah,
can't do
I said,
anything
"No."
on your own
Can't
land.
do any shit with your own shit.
Right.
Well, what
Permission.
I gave them $400, and all of a sudden we're good to go. A week and a half later, I got myself a permit, passed my inspection.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah,
They want their chunk, right? They want their
yeah,
chunk.
Yeah.
yeah. You run into good ones, and then you run into really bad ones.
Mhm. Which is
more
not
bad.
fair to be at the whim of a person's mood and demeanor. Well,
No.
that should never be the case.
Yeah.
I was paving my driveway like, I don't know, 3 years ago or 4 years ago. And so the state worker drives by, they're almost done with it towards where the county road is. And she stops in the middle of the road, blocks traffic, and is just telling the guys that they have to quit. You can't go all the way to the road. That's state property and all this. And anyway, long story short, she wanted me to get a permit after it was already done and whatever, and I just didn't. I didn't call or anything. I'm just like, yeah, I'll do it.
That's
Later.
a power trip, though. That's just stop in the middle of
huge.
traffic.
Yeah. Like, why does she care?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Even if it was 10 feet of state property, whatever. I mean, the road is getting upgraded for free.
Exactly.
Them.
You're making it better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
There was a driveway across the street from my house. It's actually my father-in-law. I went out in the middle of the road. There was 20 cars behind her. She's just sitting there with her window down. I said, "Can you pull over here?" And she finally
Can you
did.
mind your own business, please?
That too.
Those are Agent Smiths, though, right? It's easy to handle Agent Smiths when you know what they are. I think
Yeah.
you can sort of play that angle if you understand.
Yeah.
They're not really thinking for themselves. They're just agents of the state, right? Agents of the matrix.
Yeah, they're doing what they're told, right?
Mm-hmm. And we know how many people have done what they're told, especially in the last couple of years.
Exactly.
Damn. Yep.
That's again nobody thinking. They're just doing what you're told. I mean, it's like working for a company that's putting poison in something and you know it, but you're still working for them and still trying to sell it for them.
Right.
Yeah,
it makes no sense.
You pay us. I think you pay a heavy soul price for that. You pay a heavy soul price.
Still
when
see people driving and walking alone with a mask on to this day.
Sad. It's sad, right?
Every day, pretty much. Yeah.
I saw a few counties in the States have made it illegal to wear one in public now. I thought I saw that last week. Maybe it was just one county in New York, which I thought was interesting. It's like the exact opposite of what they're trying to do.
Yeah, but there's so much theft and stuff like that hidden behind these masks. And
well, traditionally, who wears a mask? The robber wears the mask.
Yep.
Right? That's so. And I saw jewelry stores all through the pandemic that had the signs up: "Don't come in here with the mask. It's going to steal my jewelry."
That's the first thing I thought of when all that started. I'm like, okay, there's going to be a lot of robbers around here now.
Exactly. And then didn't they release prisoners from all the prisons too? They just opened the floodgates.
Right.
It happened up here. Yeah.
Yeah. It was nuts.
Too obvious, though. Too obvious.
Yeah.
Great stuff, Chris. Appreciate those pictures. And
yes, very, very amazing.
Thanks.
Great photos, the both of you.
Yeah, happy to share them.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah, but
we share some shit again. I feel good about it, so I'll probably be doing some shit more on a more regular basis. Probably, I think so.
Yeah,
it's time to dive into the melt again. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
why not?
He's back, baby.
Yeah.
It's funny how. Well, I was just going to say, it's funny how your content lives on. Doesn't really matter when you start making content. You know,
Mhm.
you can go quiet for a while, but like you said, people are still finding your stuff. New eyes are coming to it, and that's why we do, I think, what we're doing, because it's out there forever
Yeah,
or until it gets
yeah.
taken down. You know.
Unless they
I have,
reset the internet, then yeah, it's out
yeah,
there.
yeah. That'd be
Yeah,
a panic move. There,
that
then we'd be
would.
then we'd all be talking to each other face to face, and then it would be game over that way too. I think people would become a
Right.
community again. Yeah,
Yeah. They
yeah,
can't shut down the internet because they need it to keep people enslaved mentally and stuff with
yeah.
Yes.
all these video games and all these office jobs and all that stuff. So
Distractions. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and all these fucking movies and shit, whatever
Well, and
people do.
also the way that people have treated each other over the last couple of years. No one's taking any responsibility for it. That's what I'm seeing. It's like, you were ready to alienate a segment of the population that refused to go along with the experiment,
Hmm.
and now people just can't face those people, like myself. They just bury themselves in distraction rather than actually having a grown-up conversation about
Yeah,
anything,
right,
you know.
right.
And it's part of the play, I think. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, what's the word I'm looking for? They give us the internet and stuff, but they need it, and they think, well, it's 60% us as far as them, and then we can. I'm trying to think of the war term, casualties or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, it's worth it. We can let this out because we need it, and
Yeah.
we're using it more than them. And they can
Yeah.
take channels and videos and stuff down too. So
hmm.
Yeah, the censorship, but there's a battle going on, I think, with that too. I think it was even last week I saw an article that Google's having some legal issues with like an antitrust type situation. So it's there. You can see the light and dark battle.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not all doom and gloom, and we have to remember that.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there's good in everyone. Most people, I think, the people at the top of their food chain have what do they use? Cremation of care. They've consciously decided not to have a soul or have any humanity or empathy, right?
Right.
And then they try to make that the society they want us to be, but we don't have to be that way, and
Hmm.
it's not our natural state. So we have to
no, not
unplug
at
from
all.
there.
Yeah,
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 I truly believe that too. Most people are good people,
yeah,
yeah,
and when I'm out there doing my everyday shit, then all the interactions and all the people I see, 99% of them are friendly people and people who works like in governments and higher up in the system and stuff. There is good people there too, and they say, "Oh my God, I got to fight for this and make things right." I mean, with the censorship and everything, like adults, grown ass people can't say whatever the hell they want together
mhm,
through this shit. It's
yeah,
ridiculous. As
yeah,
long as you don't, plan like bombing places or terrorism or anything, you should be able to talk about whatever the hell you want.
yeah,
That's what I
right.
yeah,
think.
yeah. No, well, that's like the bedrock of a free society, an open society, right? Like that's
Yeah,
if that's gone, I mean, that's been debated a lot lately too, right? The British government's trying to crack down on what you say online and all that kind of stuff. All these things seem to have the reverse effect. It just pisses more people off, and then you get
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. It,
so.
it seems like they're stepping over bounds really quickly. When I don't know why they're doing it so quickly, but
Maybe there's a
they,
time crunch. Maybe it's just sloppy. It's panic. Who knows? Yeah,
yeah, I did think they hit the panic button in 19, but
yeah,
because
yeah.
that actually woke up a lot of people, just that event. So,
yeah.
Uh-huh.
I was going to ask you guys too.
but
What do you think about the stuff that this content? The flat Earth as well, but the old world stuff and the meltology. Um, it seems to be most people that are looking at this refused. How do I say it? To participate in the experiment. Let's say. Um, do you think there's a direct connection there with physically, um, technology wise? I don't know. I'm trying to be careful with the way I'm
Yeah,
saying this, but I think you guys probably know
I
what
know
I'm
what you
saying.
mean. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think?
It,
Yeah,
as,
I
go ahead.
think it's related to those kind of things that happened in some sort of way. I think people are being zombified
Mm-hmm.
in a way, and I mean just the way that I saw this trio couple, whatever, shit talking flat Earth, while they are like that, and they're like, oh, I forgot those kind of people existed, like that kind of stuff, like
That says it
so.
all.
Mhm.
So because they live like that and they walk their boyfriend, girlfriend with a dog leash, if they were ever to question flat Earth, they had to question, is there a God behind this? And what the hell am I doing with my boyfriend, girlfriend here with a leash and shit? Because it's wrong. So they'd rather just keep living, doing their crazy stuff instead of, because the truth requires change
Mm-hmm.
in the
Yes.
way you think, the way you behave and treat people, and all everything, the way you eat and all that stuff. So it's easier to just ignore it and keep doing whatever stupid shit you do, I think.
But it's
Yes.
a choice. There's no innocence there. Then that's a conscious decision at some level. There has to
Yeah,
be. As much and I do like to say, well, we have to remember these people are brainwashed, but at the same time, there is a conscious decision being made not to see. I
yeah,
think, especially this day and age, with what's out
yeah,
there.
yeah, for
Yes.
Yeah.
sure. There is no way with all the truth out there, not even the big things like flat Earth, but it could be anything out there.
Uh-huh.
There's no
Uh-huh.
way people can't know jack shit today.
Uh-huh.
Still,
Mhm.
there's
Yeah.
no way.
Yeah.
But still they don't know anything.
It's a choice.
I
Yeah.
do feel
They're making a choice.
Yeah,
I do feel for like forgiveness or whatever for because of the system.
Mm-hmm.
It's I'm like it's not their fault, but at some point, yes, it is your fault. And you know people or see people, and they see what I've shown or truth channels have shown, and they just don't. It's too much. They don't want to change. You have to change your whole reality, like y'all
yeah,
were saying. I mean, you have to make a lot of changes if you really want if your heart's into it,
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's hard. I mean, I'm not 100% where I want to be as far as life
Mm.
with this, but I just it's baby steps. But a lot
yeah,
of people don't even want to take those baby steps. But they'll say they'll agree with you maybe a little bit or here and there, but that's it. They just keep doing what they're doing because it's just too hard. So,
hmm, yep,
but hey, that's what we're here for, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
we're here for. Trying
Share.
at
Yeah.
least.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And I want to thank both of you guys for doing that, stepping out into that realm of ridicule, right? Because that's
Right.
what you
yeah.
face when you're in a very small minority and you're trying to suggest something that no one else sees or agrees with.
No.
It's
I didn't know it was going to be that bad at first either. I was like, oh
Yeah.
shit.
Same. I'm just like, oh my god, that shit. I gotta talk about this.
Yeah,
And because it was so easy for me to see it, kind of like it went pretty quickly. Then I thought, oh, everyone should be able to see this within like 5 minutes too, like that, like
right.
I did. But
yeah,
no.
yeah.
And then it was, some months of like trolls and stuff, and then eventually they give up because you just learn to not take it into you and you just ignore it. If they're super
Exactly.
offensive, you can also delete them, whatever. I don't
Mhm.
do that
Yeah.
anymore. I just
Uh-uh.
leave them be, and then all the meltheads out there in the chat, they can take care of it for me.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what those trolls want is everybody thinking the way they think and
yeah,
not looking
Right.
into it. So when they start to see other people say questioning it as well, then they get sort of the back down, right?
yeah, yeah,
They shut up.
yeah,
They want a reaction, and I didn't do it right in the beginning. I was just trying to really teach people, and then it would get to me. And even people, I don't know any of these people. They're just saying whatever shit they want to say about me. But then you just got to let it go, and they go away, and it's they're not there for. It's like I've always said, I'm not going to go into a NASA site and start just reaming everybody. I mean,
Mhm.
right,
there's no point in it.
right,
So it's a type
It's
of
your own
person.
experience, and you're going to find it yourself if you want it. So
Mhm,
just leave it
mhm.
at that. I don't comment to anybody on any negative thing. And so unless they're
I like to I like to go at mine a little bit. A lot of times they'll say, "Oh, you're just a keyboard. You don't even know what you're talking about."
right,
You know, and I'll be like, "Well, I'm a carpenter actually, and I have a pretty good idea how buildings go together. And these timelines make no sense."
right.
So
Yeah.
I like to throw it back at them sometimes.
Yeah, I got a comment a few times like, "Oh, you probably dropped out of school at whatever when you were 10." And I'm like, "Well, I wish I did, but no, I went through I went through about I don't know, say 20 something 21 years of school, whatever.
Mhm,
And
mhm,
of course you don't ever hear back from them, but
That's a
mhm.
very common troll comment. Go back to school, whatever. Hey, we went there.
yeah,
Read
Sucked.
something.
We
been there,
got
Read
done that.
something.
tricked.
You get
Yeah. Damn, they
yeah.
think we didn't go to school or something. I don't know.
They think you can't read. They say read something, right?
Yeah, right. Stuff like that. But
Yeah.
it's okay. The trolls disappear over time. Did you know they have like in India and stuff? They have like comment farms that
Oh
people
yes.
sit and they control like 50 cell phones and just leave shit everywhere just to cause this kind of hatred and separation and all that stuff. People do that for a living over there.
That's
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
malevolent. That's
Yeah,
evil purpose. But the purpose behind that
yeah,
is detrimental to society for sure.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
well, that's the
Yeah,
number one
I've
reason
seen
we're in the
some.
position we're in is the division they splatter everywhere. So
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is crazy.
I love the people that I interact with on my channel though too. They tell me I'll do a video on a certain location and they'll tell me all about the past and oh, I went to that high school and did you know it had tunnels that went across the way to the whatever building it was, and like you get a lot more texture on the locations. It's really one of the
yeah,
most
I
rewarding
love
parts of
that.
doing what I'm doing.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's probably 50% of. I'm like, wow, I never knew that, and they're telling you this stuff, like you're saying, and
Mhm.
it's great.
Yeah, we
Just
can't
those few
underestimate that.
comments make the whole thing worth it.
Well, and it's there forever. So someone's going to come across it 3 years from now and see that, and then add their part up to it. You know what I mean? That's the
yeah,
Right?
it. We don't understand. I don't think we understand the value of it yet. It's going to take time for this to really come together.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're early on here. Joachim, you were really early for me anyway. I didn't like who is this guy? Who is this Scandinavian guy telling me about melted buildings?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
you know,
was when was that? 2019, 2020, 2020, I think. Yeah, the first year of the whole thing.
so, yeah, I,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's when I came across that. 2018 was flat Earth.
yeah,
So it's just a journey, and someone. It's not a race who's first or who's like the smartest or anything. It's just someone has to see it, and it happened to be me. It happened to be you guys, and
yeah.
the whole chat and everything. And then in some years, 5 years from now or something, this is probably going to be a pretty casual common knowledge out there.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Yeah, it's
know.
just
Yeah.
how these things start. I found you in 2021, I think it's the spring of when the rollout was happening.
Oh
And
yeah.
but I
Uh,
don't think you can downplay, getting, if you're one of the few that picked up the torch early on, there's a lot of courage and there's a lot of valor, I guess you could say. So yeah, I think you have to pat yourself on the back in some way too, not in an egotistical way, but it speaks a lot to your character as an individual. That's why I really wanted to
Right.
meet you.
oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. There's
Hmm.
something in me, just my spirit or whatever said, "Oh goddamn, I have to speak about this because it's so important." And back in the day when I started this, like 4 years ago, whatever, like my English wasn't that great or anything, but I still did it. Didn't have the proper like any camera, proper microphone. I used like a shitty headset, whatever. But over time, I got to upgrade it, and my English has improved a lot. And now I live in America too, so all my sometimes I forgot to talk Norwegian. I speak with my brothers and stuff through my phone, and it's like, oh shit, I gotta put in an English word there because I can't find a Norwegian one.
Ah,
So it's kind of a transition there and stuff, but it's a good thing to as a foreign person to be able to speak English, because majority of the world is using that language, even if it's full of spell casting and one word means like 3 different things. It's spelled the same and pronounced the same, but it means so many different things and shit. It's a difficult language, but that's what we use. That's what they're pushing on us, and you can communicate a lot if you learn it. And the
Yeah, the
only way
English
to do so
language
is
is so
speak it.
messed up. Sorry, yeah, I was just saying the English language is so messed up. Like
Yeah.
one word means 4 or 5 things.
Yeah, it's pretty messed up sometimes. And by the way, if you guys like board games, we play it. My wife and my kids sometimes. There is a board game called Code Names. I think it's like $10 at Walmart. It's pretty interesting because it's a word game where one of the persons or 2 of the person, whatever, there is a spy master who just have a map of a 5x5 grid of words on the table, and you're supposed to describe to the agents out there. You can only give a word that's 1 clue, so you can say, for example, hot. If there is a couple of words, it's difficult to explain, but it's a cool game. So if there's multiple words that can relate to hot, for example, you can say hot 3. So there's 3 words on the 5x5 grid, and they have to guess what you think or which one you're referring to, whatever. It's a pretty cool game, and that's also fucked up with the English, because this can mean this and it can mean that and also this. So it's all based on if they can understand you as a person and the way you think and what you're referring to and stuff. It's pretty cool.
I'm just gonna.
I recommend that to you, Chris, and you, Mark, and whoever in the chat. Code Names, if you like board games. It's pretty fun and simple to learn.
Is this it? I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
Is that it there?
Yes.
Okay.
We got it $10 on Walmart. I don't know if it was a sale or anything. So it comes with 400 words in the first package, and there is also an expansion with another 400 words or something. But we just have the first one. It's a very cool game.
Sounds
And
fun.
we have a very good time with that.
Okay.
And we got 1 on 5 and 1 on 7, and they can learn how to read because it's pretty simple. It's just some cards with names on them or words on them and stuff.
And get them off the screens too.
Yeah. I mean, they're pretty obsessed with screens sometimes, and
it's the battle of our time.
We give them some screen time here and there, but every other week they're with their dad, and there they have like infinite access to screens. And then they come here, and within the first 2 minutes after they've been gone for a week, they ask about iPad or Nintendo Switch or whatever. So we try to like limit it a little bit and do other things and play board games and stuff. And also another game that's actually out in the fields. It's called Cub, and you have to throw some cylinder sticks on blocks over there on the opposite side and stuff. We do kind of stuff like that, and go to the lake, and because the screens are crazy.
Yeah, you definitely gotta get away from them.
So that's what we're doing. And I think it's time for me to shut this down. I think my sweetie is coming home very soon. So that'll be it.
Yeah,
it's been a pleasure. Yeah, I've enjoyed this a lot.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Yes,
and I've seen. I can put on the camera. And I'm seeing all the people in the chat as well. I appreciate you guys too. Haven't been able to pay too much attention. Been busy talking, but we should do it again sometime and not too long. I'm down for it.
Me too.
Yes. I want to say I appreciate both of y'all coming on here. Life, it hinders everything, but thank y'all so much for getting together, and really do appreciate it. And of course, all your work. That's it.
Yeah. You too, guys, and everyone sharing truth, doing the right thing, the good thing.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a beautiful place out there.
Anyway, I appreciate everybody being here. Thank you so much. And unless y'all have anything else to say, we're going to end it.
Until next time, guys.
Yeah, let's just stay in touch with Facebook or whatever, and then figure out another time we can do it in not too long.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone. And peace within, what I like to say.
All right. Bye, guys.